We're gonna make Chinook salmon paintings with wax resist and watercolor. Now, Chinook salmon are native to the Pacific Northwest and they're endangered of going extinct. So this is a very special project for us to be doing. We're gonna start by making a large oval shape on our paper. So you wanna take your pencil and kind of trace a gentle oval shape. That's great. Now once you have that gentle oval shape, you can make a little tail coming out of it.
Little tail. And now I'm going to go back over my oval shape and kind of make it look a little bit more like a fish. I'm just going to slope down here. And I'm going to do a little bit of a hook for a mouth. Spawning male Chinook salmon have kind of more of a hooked mouth. Bring my oval back around to the tail. I'm going to do now I'm going to do a different section for the head right here. Maybe go in there. Circle and then 2 smaller circles inside.
Once you have these basic shapes drawn, you can trace over it with Sharpie. When you're done tracing it with the black Sharpie, you're going to erase your pencil marks. Done erasing your pencil marks, you're going to start adding some colors with either crayons or Prismacolor pencils. So some of these fish have like this little mark. Now I can't see this until I add my watercolor on top, but I'm gonna do a white line across the fish right there. And then I'm gonna shade some white areas around here so these areas stay light once I paint my fish. And I'm gonna do some little dots on my fish, little speckles. I can also add some kind of darker edges down here on the end of the tail. And on the fin here. And add maybe some more dots, just really gently. You can also do little circles. So don't have to go like that. I can just do very gentle marks on my fish. And I'm gonna think about some other colors to add. I want to not necessarily make my fish realistic. I want it to be really colorful. But we can look at this picture right here to kind of see I'm loosely basing these colors off of. There's a lot of color there. I'm gonna do some kind of pink colors down here, maybe even some red. More pink texture. I'm doing kind of swirly marks. You can add different textures. Just try little swirls. And a little around the jaw. And then some yellow around the gills. Kind of greenish. Where did I do that white mark? I could do these kind of little lines. You can add different textures and colors. Green lines. Maybe I want it to blend into like a turquoise. Do a little white in the middle here. And some more yellow. You just try a variety of different colors and patterns and textures.
I'm all done with this, I'm watercoloring on top of it.
Kind of putting a different color yellow right on top of the yellow I already added. Just more white down here. A bit of a darker blue in there too. Looks good. It's kind of like a rainbow. Rainbow Chinook. Red. A little bit of brown in there. All right. Okay, so we can pretend that our Chinook salmon is spawning upriver, and we can do like a little water line towards the top of our picture. And then above that, we can say it's next to a river, so there's some green foliage if you want to do some kind of different greenery up at the top with your crayon. Just different green colors, little shrubs. You want to go into more detail than that. Leaves, different colors. Okay, now for the water part, we'll have these couple different colors, either colored pencils or crayons, outlining the top of the water. And then for inside the water, we can add some little white lines like this, just swirly lines. You can't see them, but you'll see them once I start adding the color. Wavy. They can overlap too. You want to do wavy blue lines too, you can. They can overlap the white lines like that. Overlap each other too, like that. You can do it with several different colors if you want. Maybe I'll do, that's not very dark, I'll do maybe this color. Like that. So they can kind of cross over each other, see, like that. All right. If I want to spend some more time in the background adding some more foliage up here, I can do that and do different colors. So once I have all this down on here, I am going to add watercolor on top of it. I've decided the top I want to do light green and then kind of a pinkish red down here. And then I'll go ahead and paint my water a very light blue color. So I'm going to start out with this light green color. And I'm going to start painting across the top. A bit like that. Now I don't want to fill it in completely with crayon because it's nice to have a little bit of that watercolor show. I'm going to paint over this with this green color. And on the face, like that. Now notice we shouldn't be pushing our brush like this. This is not using the brush properly. If we're going like this, that's not how we use the brush. We do gentle back and forth brush strokes. Again, gentle back and forth. That, and now as I get to the bottom, I'm going to switch to different colors. So I'm going to pinch, windshield wiper, dip, pinch, windshield wiper, and I'm going to add some water to red. I'm also going to add just a little water to blue right now because I'm using that in the background. Maybe a tiny bit of purple too. Oh, for the bottom part, I'm going to be using red. Red color, look how pretty that looks going over the crayon. So once I've filled in my fish, I can paint the background. So I'm gonna change colors now, and I want to go for a really light color in the background because I want my fish to really pop out. So what I can do for that is I can pick up some of this blue and I can do it over here in the lid and really water it down. So I'm adding my blue here, just picking it up and putting it over there, and then I'm going to get some water and add water to that. Now the more water I add, the lighter my color is gonna get.
I want it pretty light in the background.
There's that. So I'm gonna stir that together. Now that I've got that really light color, and I'm gonna paint my background, and all those white marks I made are gonna show up. Now if you wanna do a couple different colors in your background, you can. Just make sure it's a lot lighter, using a very light color, because look how nicely that fish pops out. When I use that light blue, that makes that fish really pops out of the picture and looks cool. And those white crayon marks I made look super neat now. Maybe I want to blend a slightly different color up at the top, maybe like a really light purple. So I'm going to take some purple here, and again, I'm going to add a bunch of water to it. I want it to be super light, so I'm going to add a lot of water to it. And now up here where I'm having the foliage, the green, I might also have some brown in there too, because there's often some brown when we see green, so I want to add like little bits of brown. This is meant to be kind of out of focus and abstract. So these are some sticks next to the riverbank, some fallen branches. Maybe there's a couple ferns in there too. Maybe there's like a couple. So now I can do, maybe I can take one of my green colors, maybe that color, or maybe a little bit of both, and add them over here. Now I'm gonna add a bunch of water to that because I want to do really light green on top of the green I've already added. So I'm gonna add a lot of water to it, stir it up. I think I might want to make it even lighter than that. So I'm gonna add some more water. Want it really super light. Okay, stir it up. And now I'm gonna paint across on top of this with this light green color. So when you're done with your salmon, put it in the area I've asked you to put it. And then your watercolors, taking care of your watercolors is really important. Now often what I see is that the yellow gets like little bits of stuff in it, very common. So when that happens, we're gonna take a clean tissue and we're gonna wipe it out. And notice it's still got some green in it. So what I can do is I can get my tissue a little bit wet like that and wipe it out better. It has to be clean in order to work. If your tissue's dirty and you try to wipe it out, it's just gonna make it worse. Now examine your watercolors, see if there are any other colors that are contaminated or mixed together. And if they are, you need to gently dab them out with the Kleenex until it's clean. If they're not, just leave them alone, it's fine. Even if they're kind of spilled over the edge, that's totally fine. Now look at this lid. It is my job to leave this lid cleaner than I found it. So I'm gonna very carefully wipe up this extra paint. Now that I'm finished, I'm gonna wipe it up. And you might actually need to add some extra water there if it's dried up a little bit and it's not coming out. You might need to add a little bit of clean water to it. But really get in there and clean it out real nice. And then when you're done with your watercolor, please be sure to carry it like a forklift, because if you get it sideways, it's gonna spill and be messy. So carry it really gently and straight up and down, and then clean up your area.